fighting. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel, and Katrina Swathwood.
Hello.
Hopefully you guys are still listening. I know last week was a little strange. We've been working with some new equipment. It's way above our heads, and Katrina's been figuring out how all of it works. So I know last week I was a little loud. Katrina was fine. Corey was fine, but he was only coming out of one speaker for some reason, which was strange. So hopefully by now we've got things situated. I know it's still going to sound a little strange, but each week...
We're working it out.
Yeah, Katrina's working it out. Well, each week will get a little better. So I appreciate you sticking with us.
Thanks.
There we go. So what I wanted to touch base on first is... well, first of all, I didn't bring... last week, I surprised you guys with everything.
You did.
I didn't let you read the news or anything, so I don't know the topics that you guys brought this week, and we'll get to that.
Good. I guess I should have asked you guys if you watched some
Trailers? I didn't watch... I watched Wreck-It Ralph. I didn't watch Lego, and I didn't watch... another one came out. What was the other one that came out?
I can't even think which one.
Those are the two I was going to touch on, so...
No, there's another one that came out, and now I can't think of what it was. I don't know.
Was it like recently? It wasn't Mowgli?
I saw Mowgli.
I saw Mowgli.
Yeah.
No, it was in the last 2 days. I made a
We
reference
just
to it
talked about
earlier.
it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, Lego trailer came out, and another trailer came out, but I don't know what it was. Anyways, if you follow us on Twitter, you'll see that I officially announced our countdown to our 100th episode, which will start in late July. If you don't follow us on Twitter, I just wanted to let you guys know what it is. We are starting at episode 94. We are going to do a 7+ hour podcast. And
Yay.
yeah, Katrina's really excited about it.
I'm really
Everybody
excited.
is.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So we're going to do a 7-hour podcast. We're going to break it up into 7 episodes, and we are going to release one a day for 1 week. We never charge for our stuff except for our Patreon special episodes. But we've never charged for anything on here, and we believe that's the way it should be. But we are going to be charging $1 per episode, and all the money is going to go to a charity called Child's Play. Child's Play basically helps children who are spending long periods of time in the hospital make it a better stay. They provide all kinds of different stuff. But what hit me was they provide video games and consoles and stuff for kids who are going to spend long periods of time. And actually, you know what? I have a... give me 1 second. All right, so I'll give you a couple bullet points of Child's Play just so you know what we're going towards. It says, for the last 15 years, Child's Play has partnered with the gamer community to bring electronic entertainment to kids in children's hospitals and domestic violence shelters. We partner with over 140 hospitals worldwide, over 120 in the U.S., and another 25 internationally. Thousands of dollars fully outfits a domestic violence shelter. One console will benefit about 1,000 kids in 1 year. So, I mean, it's a really good charity, and hopefully you guys are willing to, shoot in $1 to...
Or $7.
Well, yeah. Hopefully you'll do $1 episode for 7 episodes. We will eventually release the episodes for free. So if, I'm thinking 30 days. After the 30 days, we'll take all the money we made, we'll donate it to Child's Play, and we will make those episodes available for the cheapskates that didn't want to help the kids.
Terrible people.
Yeah, terrible people. What's really cool is I've contacted a couple people. This is taking place in late July, so we will be doing multiple giveaways every single episode. Every single episode will have at least 2 giveaways. And we're looking at, I've already got commitments from Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead, Robert Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool, and they're going to sign some stuff for us to give away on this podcast for those episodes. We've also got Comic-Con exclusive that we're going to get to give away on here. So we're looking at some really cool stuff to give away. And a podcast friend of ours, his wife does watercolors, and she has an Etsy shop called Untidy Venus. And they are donating some paintings for us to give away that are really cool. They've got Pokemon ones, they've got horror ones, You can check out her on Etsy, and it's just really cool stuff. They're donating some stuff too. I've also got some other things cooking that might come through. I don't want to announce them.
Cook.
Are you giving away food?
Yeah, we're giving away food.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything else away just in case it doesn't come through, but we've got some other ideas and stuff to give away as well. So hopefully you guys will be interested in that. It'll be a long podcast. We're going to have plenty of our past guests like Alan from Four Guys at a Table. We'll all be here. Brian will be here. Eric Galactus will be here.
Oh, he will.
Yeah.
Huh.
We'll have
What a commitment.
Anthony Smith will be here.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Anthony Scaramucci. We got the whole crew.
Yeah, we got a ton of people that are going to be here. Matt McMurder from Four Guys at a Table is going to be here as well.
McMurder?
Yeah, Matt McMurder,
Oh.
the wrestling guy. And hopefully we'll have some of our friends from some other podcasts as well. I think Ian from Earth 919 podcast is going to be on as soon as we, figure out how to do all this phone and stuff and stuff like that.
More work for me.
Yeah. We're going to have some other guys from other podcasts on as well. And, maybe an interview here or there if we can work some things out. But that's it for the charity episode. I did have to touch base on some stuff from last week's episode as well. I had a listener message me and say that we were incorrect on something. Season 1 Walking Dead, Carol was a character on the first season of Walking Dead.
Who's still around?
Who's still around.
We all forgot about her.
And we all forgot about her. And also Alan from Berserker, who's a friend of ours, who's I've already referenced his podcast. Wookiee speak is called Shriwook.
Shriwook?
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
Not Kashyyykian?
Yeah,
Kashyyykite?
not Kashyikian or Kashidite or Shittite. But Wookiee speak is Shriwook, and he wanted to make sure that we knew that.
He didn't know what crab soccer was.
You know what crab soccer is, Corey?
It sounds like an STD gone wrong.
Why not Zoidberg?
Is that where you have to crawl around on all fours? That sounds stupid.
You never played it as a kid?
I may know what it is, but I don't endorse it.
You never played it as a kid?
I don't recommend it for anybody. That's just
you don't recommend PE?
I don't recommend anybody do the
Obviously, he doesn't recommend anything physical.
That's true.
I don't think the crab's useful for anything. I apologize for all the crab people out there. I may offend. You walk stupid. Get out.
Yeah, so...
So what is it? Shishyikian?
Shriwook.
I'm not going to remember that. I don't care.
But finishing with me doing those little follow-ups, Katrina and I took the boys to Disneyland on Sunday, and they have where the Muppet thing used to be at California Adventure. They now have sneak peeks where they sneak peeks a movie, and we actually got to watch the first 5 to 10 minutes of The Incredibles.
Okay.
Which
Incredibles
is
2.
Incredibles 2, yes.
Okay.
And what's cool
is just the first one. I wouldn't be impressed.
What's cool is it was in 3D, so you have the theater in front of you, but they also have screens on the side. So like, do you remember how the first one ended with the Underminer?
Yeah, that's how it starts.
So he dives back into the earth, but I'm not gonna like talk a bunch about it other than it was awesome. But as he's going through the earth, the side screens in the theater were like showing dirt fly back.
Okay.
So there was like stuff going on in your peripherals as well, which was really cool.
It was cool.
It made me really want to see the movie. I'm really excited right now.
Was John Ratzenberger?
Yeah.
Voicing?
Yeah.
Good.
So that was really cool. I wasn't expecting. I mean, I'm looking forward to the movie, but I wasn't expecting it to be as cool as the beginning was, because it's like it just takes off. So with that all said, thank you guys for listening to my long-winded introduction about this week's episode. And
yeah, it's pretty long.
And what is it?
Like 10 minutes.
And the charity. Well, the charity thing is really important. And
I didn't say it wasn't.
It's not 10 minutes important.
Well, just so people realize, I've already purchased and I pre-bought 3 different copies, 8 issues, 3 different comic books, 8 issues each, and I'm getting them signed by the people who write the book. So that's right there is going to be 24 signed comics to give away. and that's just before we even get to buying exclusives and
So the
sending them
rate
out
per
to
hour is
people.
astronomical. You have a giveaway every 10 minutes.
I'm figuring at least 2 an episode, and maybe once we hit our 100th episode, we'll give away like a prize pack to somebody.
Wow.
Maybe like a Skybound prize pack or something, which would be really cool. Because if you haven't seen, Skybound announced their 15 years of Rick Grimes action figure set, which has Sheriff Rick, and then it has a 15-year anniversary Rick without his hand. Then it has Old Man Rick with his hook, and then it has Old Man Rick dressed as Negan, who's holding Lucille.
That's cool.
So it's a really cool box set, and I'm sure we'll be getting one of those. Are you playing Harry Potter?
I am. My energy.
Am I
full.
that boring?
No.
So that's a really cool set, and Skybound always has super, super fucking cool Comic-Con exclusives. That Rick set's going to have a bloody and non-bloody version.
Nice.
So we'll definitely be giving away one of those. So
Here's gonna give away $100.
yeah. See,
What if
here
you open it and take apart each piece and just sell that?
that's not a bad idea.
That's a horrible idea.
No, they come in they're each carded.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, so they slide out of the box set, and we probably won't do that, but maybe that'll be the grand prize giveaway. What do you think, Katrina?
Sure.
Really?
It's the first time hearing about it, so it's kind of like, bam, $100. Bye.
This is
It's for charity.
authentic
Okay.
reaction.
Yeah, she sucks. Thanks for taking the wind out of my sails.
Sorry. That's my job.
Apparently, we're not allowed to give that away. So
That's not what I said.
no, that's what she said.
No takes you back to
It's
Yeah.
like when people ask for charity, they never ask me when I'm walking out of the grocery store. Ever.
What do you mean?
You know how they have little booths and tables set up,
Like
and
Girl
people are
Scouts?
selling cookies, they'll be selling
They
anything.
don't ask you?
Yeah.
They never ask me.
Do you
Why?
make eye contact?
Huh?
Do you make eye
Yeah,
contact?
I smile, I'll wave. People just
You
wave.
wave.
people
They fucking ignore you.
people will not ask me for
She
anything.
waves. Nobody's waving at her or acknowledging that she exists, but she's waving at them. Do you walk by them like really close and wave at them?
No.
That's how I picture it.
No, it's not like that.
So we'll be giving something good away for our 100th episode. But with that said, who wants to take a shot first? I'm sure you guys brought some really interesting stuff to talk about.
I was told to bring questions.
Questions. I was told to bring answers.
No, I said bring something to talk about. I said bring questions. And I have to address that. My cousin who couldn't show up, he said, yeah, I'll let you know if I can make it. And that's not how this podcast works. We have to record. So we had all written down questions to ask him, but we're going to have to wait for a later date. I apologize. No, I told you to bring something to talk about. And then I said bring questions just in case my cousin comes.
Think of some questions just in case my cousin shows up.
Do I have to go before that when
My
I
cousin
say...
me.
Love you too.
I got the same text.
It's because I just copied and pasted both of you guys.
This is so easy for him.
Okay, so what'd you bring to talk about then, Katrina? Nothing?
Nothing.
This is going to be a really short podcast then.
That's ridiculous, Katrina.
I already put my work in yesterday. I worked hard.
We didn't talk about so Wreck-It Ralph 2
Yeah.
breaks the internet. This might be if Ready Player One was like the movie of the year to have like self-referencing like shit in it, or like referencing other movies, if not just Disney or whatever. Wreck-It Ralph is going to be. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the trailer as well.
They go to Disney World, basically the Disney corner of the internet, and meet all the Disney princesses. And
You're not surprised that they don't have to pay for
No,
rights
I'm sorry,
of
like-
anything?
I'm kind of curious if they got all the, well, at least some of the new voice actresses. Like,
It sounded like Mandy Moore was
It
doing
did to me.
Rapunzel.
Tangled.
I didn't
Yeah.
hear it though Moana, so I couldn't say. And it sounded like Elsa. Is that what you said?
I said Mandy Moore for Tangled.
Okay, and Elsa.
I didn't say
And-
that, Corey.
No, just want to make sure. And I couldn't, obviously I don't think.
Well, who
Aurora.
else would be current?
I don't think Pocahontas sounded like Pocahontas to me.
I like how they
She talked for a second.
I like
and
how they did talk about why it's breaks the internet and not Wreck-It Ralph wrecks the internet. That was a good little.
You like that interaction?
Yeah.
Just real quick, Idina Menzel voices Elsa. Kristen Bell voices Anna. Mandy Moore is Rapunzel.
Did they have Alice in there?
The girl that does Moana is Moana.
That's
the girl
awesome.
that does Merida from Brave is
Okay.
her. Jason Lee is doing a voice. Anthony Daniels is C-3PO. Is this going to be a
Nice.
spoiler?
Yeah. Well, they showed a couple.
Ming
Stormtroopers.
Na Wen she's on Agents of Shield.
Was
she
she
was
Mulan?
Mulan. She's playing Mulan.
That's so fucking tight.
Yeah, they really got a lot. I'm looking. I'm trying to look at.
Because who they have to recast? Cinderella.
Yeah, I was gonna say the lady who did Alice in Wonderland, even as an old lady, or did Alice,
Probably
she was,
sounds just like her. Still.
she was still doing it for at least Kingdom Hearts 1 or whichever one she's in.
Wow. Jodie Benson, Ariel.
Is that
She
the
was
same
yeah,
one?
she was in Ariel and
It's so fucking tight.
Get them
Like,
on the phone,
I wonder
record
if
their
other
lines.
people, like, for Ariel, I wonder if she did it for Kingdom Hearts. But if you're a Disney character, man, I think you have worked for a long time.
yeah, the lady that did Pocahontas is Pocahontas.
That's tight.
Yeah, this Jennifer Hale. This is rumored.
Jennifer Hale is a voice actress for video games.
Yeah. But that says she's rumored to be Cinderella.
So
Belle is Belle.
that's so cool. It's not okay. At least they didn't do Belle. What's her name? Hermione.
I think Jasmine is Linda Larkin, so that would make
So you're talking Aurora, Cinderella, and Snow White.
Dude, if you got all of them in the room, all the Disney princesses in
Oh,
real
that's a
life,
spoiler.
no, don't say it then.
Fuck. Damn it.
Stop looking at stuff.
I can't now.
Well, don't tell the world then.
I'm not going to. I'll tell you guys when this is off.
No, don't ruin my life.
I'm going to. It was ruined for me.
Okay, Snape.
I get the feeling though this is going to be a lot less video game and a lot more pop
Internet,
culture.
yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, I didn't read the comments on this. I almost always read comments, but I'm sure there's a lot of really irritated people that it's like, oh, it's not gonna be video games. It's gonna be the internet. What is this?
Because they're not on the internet
Don't put
complaining
me
every
in
day.
your mouth.
As long as it's not the emoji movie.
You know what's funny is the Emoji Movie was bad,
Oh.
but if you watch it and you look at the stuff in the background that the emojis like spell out, some of that was funny.
Oh yeah.
Like there was there was a stop sign and then there was a hammer and then there was a clock. So it was stop hammer time.
Nice.
So there's like little things like that I thought were kind of interesting.
It's
But
fun.
no,
I
it was
haven't watched it, so I can't judge. I'm going off the.
It's not good.
it was pretty bad. What do you think about that? Tell him about the show dogs thing,
Oh,
or should we not talk about it?
That's a little rough of a
We-
subject.
We've gotten pretty serious a couple times. Maybe we should just let it go.
What?
He's
Okay.
oblivious.
Yeah. There's a movie called Show Dogs that came out or is about to come out.
Ludacris is voicing a dog.
Oh,
There's some semi-famous actors that are in the movie.
What about it though?
Go ahead.
I was reading an article, and I don't know how I stumbled on it, but they were reviewing the movie about how it's a bad representation for priming children for molestation. So there's this dog, and he's going undercover, and he's going to go to a Best in Show competition, and they check their genitals as part of Best in Show.
Okay.
So this dog is just not comfortable with his junk getting touched. So the other show dogs are teaching him to go to his happy place and just let it happen. So they correlate this with teaching kids that if someone tells you to do something like that, just to go to your happy place and to let it happen and let it get over with.
Now,
And it's sending a bad message.
how did that get through like a writing process and multiple people at a movie company to get finalized?
Because they were going through the actual process of what a dog goes through in a show, which I can understand. But when you're translating it to children,
So should they just have omitted the touchy-feely part?
how easy would it have been just to
From
not
what I
have
understand is that's like a big part of the movie is him getting ready for that specific part.
that? Exactly.
It's like a third, like a whole act.
He doesn't like getting touched. He doesn't want to get touched there because that's his space. And, you know,
I have no idea what the movie is. Is it supposed to be a comedy?
It's a kids
it's
movie.
a kid's movie.
Okay.
Like,
is,
oh, dogs are talking.
Is it animated? I don't.
No.
I don't think so. It's
or is
like
it Homeward
I think it's
Bound?
like a Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
And they're voiced
I
over.
have no idea what the fuck this is. So.
Isn't that strange though? It seems like a.
I would have to see it. Unfortunately, like it's weird to say in the context of the movie to see if it fits the tone. Like if it's way more whimsical. Than
I'm sure it is.
Here. It just sounds like a weird thing to put in.
Yeah, but
anytime there's like any more than like getting kicked in the nuts joke in a kids movie.
If you break it down though, like Katrina said, that just seems really fucking strange.
Yeah, I would have to see it to get it.
Like, what kid is going to understand what a best in show competition is and what a dog's going to go through unless their parents, that's all they watch.
Yeah, or if they watch Best in Show a couple times.
Right. So the majority of kids, this is their first interaction into what a dog show is. And the majority of the story is about this dog overcoming his fear of getting touched in the genitals and them not trying to think about it and just go somewhere else.
You said the movie's called Red Rocket?
No.
I always thought that was funny. The pizza place in Disneyland was called Red Rocket, wasn't it?
Pizza Planet? What?
It's Pizza Planet now.
Oh, before it was called Red Rocket?
There's a
sure
big
it's
Red
called-
Rocket
yeah.
outside.
Yeah, who thought?
I think they're low tone deaf too.
It's Disneyland.
Yeah, it's Disney. They put penises in.
Yeah, but if you play right into a sexual like word pun, you're just asking for it.
How much you want to bet that Show Dogs things references Red Rocket at least once in the movie?
Well, now I don't want to put money on it.
No, but back to Wreck-It Ralph. Wait. Something just clicked in my brain. What was that other trailer? Yeah, maybe it's not. I didn't go through I don't do the whole Easter egg breakdowns in trailers.
I didn't see anything.
Because, I mean, in Wreck-It Ralph, there was a lot of that.
I'm sure there fucking was.
There was a lot of that.
There's too much going on in the background. You can't catch everything.
You know what was cool is if you pause the first Wreck-It Ralph movie, Chris Hardwick comes up, I think that was before.
He comes up as what?
No, Chris Hardwick comes up as Chris Hardwick. And he starts talking to you about all the Easter eggs and hidden stuff in the movie.
Yeah, when you pause it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool, but I'm trying to think. Talking Dead wasn't on that then, so I don't think it was. I mean, he's obviously huge now, but I don't think. Anyways, was that all you had? Was Wreck-It Ralph?
I was going to talk about
Lego?
Lego.
I didn't watch it.
Okay. Compared to Wreck-It Ralph, I was like, okay, no, that was good. I love Lego Movie.
Yeah, the first one
surprised the shit out of me.
I don't think anybody was expecting it to be as good. And you still haven't seen Lego Batman, have you?
No.
That was really good too.
But this one starts like after Taco Tuesday happened, and it's just a play on like a wasteland type world, like Mad Max.
Okay.
For the first minute, and then some space creature comes and snatches up everybody, and it's like there's not. I have to see it. But I was like, that trailer does not get me excited to watch it.
I didn't watch it. I don't know.
I was busy doing voting stuff.
Yeah, did you vote yesterday? No.
No.
You should.
Eh.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah, you are.
Solution.
No.
I'm not informed.
So
I'm not
you
gonna
do your
make a random
homework.
Guess. That's just irresponsible.
You're just lazy.
You know, there are a lot of irresponsible people who just vote based on the name because the name sounds good.
Or they don't even know what they're voting for.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I refuse to be that statistic.
So you just don't go.
I make sure that everybody who votes knows what they're voting for. So it's the informed populace that controls.
I read all the bills and I knew some stuff about some of the politicians. But I didn't get to research as much as I would have liked.
Did you get a vote on the recall on that judge?
No,
that was in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Okay, that's only for them.
Yeah, and
that's interesting.
He got taken out, right?
Yeah.
They spent $1 million advertising to get him out of there.
Fuck that guy. Just so you know, if you don't know what we're talking about,
the judge who was extremely lenient on the Stanford
rapist. We're not going to say, oh, the swimmer at Stanford. He was a rapist that raped a girl.
I see the counter argument that was made that judges shouldn't have to. The way they usually them getting recalled is if they did something negligent or criminal.
That was
or-
negligent.
That might not have been criminal, but that was definitely negligent.
A lot of, like, in the legal community, or what I've seen a couple things, professors, everything, they could back him up and say it is not unlawful. What his sentence.
We just said he's not breaking the law, but that's negligence.
That this instance, it might make judges more fearful of public opinion.
Good.
Which public opinion should not sway a court.
They are paid for. That is how they get their salary. We pay them.
But it's the same thing, like why juries shouldn't be tampered with public opinion. Why they shouldn't talk to outside sources.
Well, then there needs to be more standards on punishments because I want to finish this. The same things have been done by people of the black community, and they get way harsher sentences, and that's not
They
fair
don't get out of jail.
because this kid was a rich white kid.
I think people trying to get him recalled, which did happen, were trying to push the narrative. I have no idea that he was selective and like he was light on with athletes in his court who did something wrong.
Because he was a Stanford athlete himself.
And it was something else. But that he was being unfair. And as for the actual guy, because it's kind of a fucked up thing, I don't mind him getting recalled. I just think it's interesting the ramifications that may come of it. Or like, will be interesting if it just happens like this is now the first of a trend.
Well, the thing is that if you're a judge doing your job and not bending the rules, then there's nothing you have to fear.
This would be interesting at the next big trial. Say, if there's another OJ, if the judge can get recalled based on just voters.
Well, that's
the thing is, it wasn't. He was found guilty, and that was his sentence. The judge determined the sentence.
There needs to be more standardized sentencing. I mean, it's just...
Because tell me, if it was the same situation with a public defender, and even if it was a white kid, they would have gotten much more time.
I did see something that I think just passed for us. I'm not talking politics, but it wasn't considered rape if you didn't penetrate with
your penis?
Junk. Yeah, before it was some other lighter felony. I'm not sure if it's a felony, to be honest. I think it is. I hope it was. But now it's just passed, I think.
Any sort of penetration is considered a felony.
Way broader.
Good.
And because she was unconscious, it wasn't they classified it as a non-violent sexual
because
attack.
She couldn't put up a fight?
Because legitimate, yeah.
That's
so
fucked.
That's why it fell into like separate, weaker categories because one, it was not forced. Like, you know.
That's what's fucked up. That's terrible.
It's very, but now, like from what I heard, that the law is actually better.
Wait, the thing is it wasn't hearsay either. He got caught in the act.
Yeah.
And he tried to run away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. We all lived through that shit.
Yeah, that's just terrible. You made something else pop into my brain, and then it went out as fast as it came in.
I got another crime that's fucked up to talk about.
Oh, speaking of that, this will go into. We started watching. You know who Mark Duplass is? He's the guy in Creep. He's the guy
Pete.
from.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
Pete. Him and his brother made a documentary on Netflix called Evil Genius. Have you heard of this?
No.
It might be one of those things like Making a Murder where you should give it a watch.
It's really good.
It's a 4-part documentary. They're like 45 to 55 minutes a piece.
Uh-huh.
It takes place in 2003.
Yes.
I think it's 15 years ago, where a guy robbed a bank because he had an explosive collar put on him.
He had a bomb.
Yeah, he had a bomb strapped to his neck.
Jesse Eisenberg movie.
Remember I said that to you?
Yeah, you did.
That was a comedy. This is not a comedy because this motherfucker's head blew off.
His head didn't blow off.
The side of his face and chest blew off. And they're trying, the whole documentary is them trying to figure out who did it, why they did it. He was told to rob the bank, and then after he got the bank, go to this place, go to this place, go to this place.
He's given a scavenger hunt.
And he would be given keys to get the collar off. But they actually show the whole thing.
How much footage can they have from back then?
It's only 15 years ago.
Yeah, so this guy had this, but I assume it wasn't public knowledge as he was robbing the bank.
They
you
have
could tell
they
that
have the
there was
bank
something
footage.
under his shirt.
They had him handcuffed and sitting against a squad car, and he's talking to the police officers. He's like, "Please, just take this off. Take this off." And
it's gonna go off. It's gonna go off.
There's like the dash cams and there's the police cameras.
A fake found footage?
No.
No. This is an
It's
actual
dash
documentary.
cams. There's
Yeah, we've watched 2 episodes and it's pretty good. So if anybody's interested in watching that, we all watched Making a Murderer, which was really good. The Jinx about Robert Durst
good.
is the best fucking crime documentary I have ever seen, and it's such a fucking sweet ending to the series that it's just like you just feel fulfilled. Most of those are kind of like open ended, like Making a Murderer was.
Had no ending.
Yeah,
It felt so fucking shitty.
Yeah, you feel for Brandon Dassey.
Yeah.
But no, it's like you discover things with the people who are creating this documentary as they're discovering them, and you're just like, oh my God.
I mean, if you ever did you finish The Punisher?
No.
God. You know, Saul comes back in a couple weeks too.
I don't know how I'm going to watch that.
He's not going to get to watch
Oh
it.
my God.
Wow.
I don't think it's in August. It comes back.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, it's a couple months. We're
weeks.
6 weeks from Comic-Con.
Yeah.
When it is 90 days to September, it's a couple weeks.
Okay, 90 days is a couple
I
weeks.
don't know where Saul left off.
His
brother's
about to die.
Fire.
Yeah.
Should yell at fire.
In the synopsis for this season too, it says after his brother's death. I'm like, okay, well we know he died.
Okay, yeah.
You didn't. I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah,
You never know. They could pull out last minute, but
He wanted to die.
you
I never
figure
pull
for
out.
his character to get where he's going. Saul, his brother probably needed to be out of the equation. So is his love interest if he's going to be Saul.
Saul.
I liked her.
Well, I
endings
heard
to
that
season.
the synopsis was also that in this season he finally starts to take those steps to become Saul Goodman.
Good.
Yeah, which is what we all have been waiting for.
I'm kind of almost more interested.
In Mike.
Well, I know how Mike ends up, but no, the first 10 minutes of every season.
Oh yeah.
It shows the future. What happens? After
Didn't it have
Breaking
2
Bad.
in last season? I thought they went back to where that kid was shoplifting.
They did, and he gave him legal advice.
Yeah.
That
He was just taking his lunch.
That wasn't in one episode.
I don't know. I thought they did it twice last season.
But I'm more interested, like when it's all said and done, and that show's over, to see if it actually shows maybe what happens to the character definitively.
I'd like that. It's
Closure.
The last
If he goes out, like it's shot. I don't know.
the first 2 seasons
Fucked up.
premiered in February, and this one's not premiering until August, which I find is weird.
Shooting schedule.
Yeah.
What are you watching right now? If you're not watching Punisher or anything,
Once Upon a Time.
still
Garbage.
It's what it is.
Sounds like
You're
garbage.
you just give in to
I'm
whatever
watching-
she wants.
That I'm showing her a lot of movies I own.
Like what? Cannibal? What did she think?
No, I can't remember the last movie I made her watch.
She's not gonna like that movie.
We watched Baby Driver the other day.
That's a
About
good
that.
movie.
Her couple.
Did she like that? Yeah, you said she did.
Yeah, she liked it.
So you're not really showing her movies if you already watched them.
Yeah,
No.
finish the Punisher, bitch.
Yeah, I'm showing her movies in my DVD collection. Or
We're watching.
she's never seen any of these. Like half the movies she's never seen any of them.
We're watching
So-
Marin.
You never saw Gone Baby Gone, huh?
No,
Like that movie. I want to show her The Town.
I
That's
still
a good
haven't seen
movie.
The Town. Yeah, I wanted to watch it.
Both of those are great movies. And you seen Argo, didn't you?
No,
No.
Fuck, you know watch. Like that's a day. Watch that trilogy.
nah,
Unrelated.
nah. I'll pass.
They're good movies.
Nah,
Give Ben Affleck a try.
no,
No.
Come on.
no.
You heard such good things about it. Now you know you want to.
I want to see The Town. The other ones I don't really have a big desire to see.
I think I liked them in the order they came out. I like Gone Baby Gone and Town, then Argo. I was surprised Argo wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be because it won. Didn't it win?
He won Best Director
Yeah,
for that.
and I think it won a couple other things too. But I thought Argo was not as good as the other ones, but it's still a good movie. But crime. You see the thing about a teacher feeding a puppy to a snapping turtle?
Yeah, that's not recent. That was.
But he just got sentenced.
What do you get sentenced to?
Or charged, I should say. And I don't even know
Like
what
in
the
front
charge-
of the class?
Yeah.
It sounded like it was to 3 students after class.
Okay.
He had a snapping turtle, and for some reason, a dying puppy. And he decided to feed the dying puppy to
I
the snapping
do have a.
Where was this?
turtle. Wherever the city was when Napoleon Dynamite took place, or a state,
Isn't that Utah?
they referenced, like...
I think it's Utah.
And what's weird is, it was a very short article I read, but one of the quotes is from one of the parents, and she's like, I don't get the outrage. If anybody should be outraged, it should be me. and I see no problem with it. The puppy was dying anyway.
Okay, there's a guy in San Diego who runs a reptile rescue, and reptiles eat,
Anything?
depending on the size, they eat feeder mice up to pigs. Like the big boa constrictors can eat small pigs. I mean, you have anacondas that can eat dogs. And he said that some of the breeders, he didn't know who they were personally because they would just drop them off on his doorstep. But any sort of puppies that were born with birth defects or really bad situation, because it happens. I mean,
And they cost money.
Is there?
he would give them they would donate them to the reptile rescue, and he would feed them to some of the different snakes.
Now, for that, do they all have to be alive? I know some things like the game Alive, but if they put the puppies out of the misery and then feed it?
Well, I'm sure once it got one snap from that snapping turtle, it was dead.
I know snapping turtles can be fucked up, but I don't know.
Snapping turtles, have you ever seen one of them bite something?
They can
It's
take off
fucking, yeah.
a finger.
They could bite through bone.
I have no idea how big this was. I don't. But either way, imagine being eaten alive is still being eaten alive.
Well, that's how it happens in the wild. I mean,
They put the snapping turtle down
did they?
afterwards. Yeah.
It wasn't the snapping turtle's
It's
fault.
euthanized.
That's crazy.
It's not. It's an animal that is
Dangerous.
I forget the term.
It might have been endangering the environment.
It was humanely euthanized. It's considered an invasive species in Idaho.
Okay,
Yeah,
well
that's
that's
why.
different. But like that
So, because it made headlines. So
that alligator that killed that kid at Disney World, when they found that alligator, they put it down.
humanely euthanized.
Wouldn't be so.
Fucking spear.
Yeah, that was a really sad. Did you hear that story? It was a couple years old
Yeah.
now.
That was huge.
Yeah, that was.
Of course, everybody heard about that.
Yeah.
Fucking go to Disney World and get eaten by a crocodile alligator.
They're everywhere.
So you're asking what I think about that?
I was like, I never heard of that. For one, if somebody does it in some backwards ass like place, you don't hear about it. But a guy showing his students, I was like, that's
like, why were
fucking
they there
cold.
after?
I don't know. He's probably invited them. He's probably like, you guys want to see something cool? Check this out.
Well, I mean, I know that snakes and stuff eat live. I mean, you can buy frozen food, but they'll eat live rabbits or guinea pigs or mice. You go into.
I've never seen rabbits. I've seen rats and mice. And shit.
Well, I'm just telling you, Pet Kingdom in Point Loma is a big reptile store, and you can buy feeder mice and rats, and I think they have their rabbits are frozen
Interesting.
to feed to snakes, but I don't know how a snake would eat that because they attack their prey. I guess if you train it to eat frozen ones.
It likes frozen food.
It'll
You gonna
eat
microwave
so
it?
it can eat.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
have to
microwave
you have to thaw it out.
I don't think necessarily the feeding of the puppy to the snapping turtle is that much of a bother to me. It's the kids. Like, why were they there? Were they there for extra credit? Or were they there because
Yeah,
it's
see
like,
a fucking puppy get ripped in half.
Let's feed this puppy
If the
snapping turtle.
puppy was dying, I guess you could have just taken it to the.
It was misdemeanor animal cruelty.
I
don't know.
I think puppy or dogs are like one of the species that are just kind of
protected,
universally
loved.
Yeah, so I think this crime's like, I think you do it with a dog or a cat, you're fucked. You do it with a lesser animal, probably not. I don't know.
So a smaller rodent, you're basically saying, would have been fine.
Yeah,
There would have been no
but
uproar.
then showing it to kids is.
So if he
like
would have
a
did
double-
it, yeah. If there were no kids there and he would have fed him a rabbit, even if it was a healthy rabbit.
Because see, that's how he got found out. Like, if it would have just been him feeding this puppy to the snapping turtle, no one would have heard about it.
If it was me and the puppy was dying, I would have taken the puppy to a vet and had it put down.
Right. I'm talking.
And I would have fucking cried the whole time like I did when I put my dog down. I wouldn't have fed it to a snapping turtle.
Like, was the dog his?
I don't know how he came in possession of it.
Like, that's also a question I have.
Maybe
How
one of
does
the
he have this
students had
dog?
Puppies, and one of them.
And why did he have the snapping turtle?
I have no idea. So it makes you wonder how big the snapping turtle was. If he was able to bring it to school.
And so he was obviously keeping this turtle on campus as a class pet.
Possibly.
That's a safety issue.
Yeah, that's a safety hazard right there.
But, it's Idaho. Tina, come get your dinner, you fat lard.
We saw him in Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I wouldn't have fed the puppy to that, and I would have been a little irritated if a guy had done that in front of my kids. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah, when my kids would come home, Mom, guess what I saw today? Because that's what happened.
Puppy get ripped
no,
to shreds.
Parker would come home crying.
Yeah.
Oliver would
that's
come
true.
home with ideas.
He does not need ideas.
Do you have another one?
One thing I want to touch on, just because you played it, I only heard about it after the fact. It's not terribly important, but video game wise, you remember you played Shadows of War
Yeah.
and you hated the end game
Yeah.
content? They got rid of that.
The whole thing?
Yeah, they systematically getting rid of it because I guess people spend real money. They just can't up and remove everything straight away. They have to give them time.
Yeah.
But
I thought they were eliminating the boxes and the downloads.
The loot boxes are going away, if not gone.
Yeah.
And the whole end game has been restructured, and that 10 defense or fortress defense is now like a bonus thing.
So are they giving me extra fucking trophies for that shit?
I have no idea. But
You
considering
email them.
I was thinking about playing. I'm like, I know it's going away in the near future. They have plans. They announced it. I'm like, well, glad I didn't start that game yet because
I can tell you if I had to defend each one of my cities once, I would have been perfectly fine with it. Which is like 5 or 6 cities. Yeah. I would have been perfectly fine with that. But the fact that you had to go back and do it again, because it was fun adjusting, and you would basically go out and get stronger guys. You'd go battle other guys and put them under your control and battle bigger guys. That was fun. But once you have to do it like a third time for the same fucking city, you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, they had a press thing where like, well, we realized it didn't really jive well with our game, and we're really sorry about all that. It should have never been included. But it's like the same thing. Is it EA push? No, it's Warner Brothers, huh?
Yeah.
Because EA had the same shit with Battlefront 2. Is Battlefront?
I don't know. And that shit got taken away, right?
Yeah, they fans outcry on that. There's no microtransactions. But I also heard that, everybody touts, this game's going to be running we'll be supporting it for years from now. After, when the next few download the expansions coming out.
I know what we haven't talked about.
They aren't going to support much in the game.
Fallout 76.
Yeah. I like their teasers. They all have the same idea, like a slow zoom out while an old song plays. But this one is a little bit more than that.
You heard what the rumor is on that, though, right?
I only watched the trailer.
You don't know any. It's rumor is online survival game.
Oh. We'll find it out next Monday.
Is it Monday? I thought it was June 10th.
Well, at least, I don't know when the Bethesda show is. I thought all the big hitters were on Monday. Because I know Nintendo goes. I was looking at...
All I care about is... I don't know how much more of Spider-Man you'll see because that game's coming out this year. But Spider-Man, Fallout, and Last of Us.
Yeah. Those were some big ones. Also, that zombie game...
H1Z... No.
What's the one with the horde of zombies?
DayZ?
No.
Uh...
I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Exclusive.
The
freaking 800 zombies.
Yeah, the running and they're just running away.
I wish I could remember the name
Daybreak?
of it. Right sounds closer. Fuck, am I going to Google it?
Yeah, just Google it. But yeah, I've heard that it's an online survival game, which I'm okay with. For me,
what is it going to be akin to? What do you think? Online survival, like an MMO?
I don't think so.
Like a Monster Hunter?
No, I heard getting around the trying to hit off of the Fortnite phenomenon.
But wait, you mean like a 50-man battle royale?
I don't know. These are just rumors. I hope not. Although I've been playing Fortnite a little bit more.
I can see them doing a light MMO type.
Bumblebee.
Oh, Bumblebee was the other trailer that came out that I haven't watched.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
It's supposed to be a reboot for the Transformers franchise, which is kind of cool.
Did you watch the trailer for the new Spider-Man?
The Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
The cartoon?
Yeah.
No, I heard it's awesome.
That animation looks freaking sick.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good.
How to describe it? Days Gone.
Days Gone. So I was close. No, but I'm hoping that if it was an online Fallout game, that it would be maybe like you could hook up with your friends and do missions, or there'd be special missions that were online based that you could do with friends and stuff. But maybe that is not an entirely online based game.
That'd be cool. But I know you probably haven't played a Monster Hunter. I've fucking been forever, but sort of the same way. You could do it entirely single player, but if you could do up to 4 players, like anything, and it kind of scales. So if it did something like that,
it'd be kind of cool because I could play with Corey number 2, who lives in Virginia.
They tried to do whatever the last Metal Gear Solid Survive did.
Well, I mean, if it's a like they did Elder Scrolls Online, right?
Yeah, that's pure MMO.
Yeah, But I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they end up doing something like that.
You don't want that. If it was a pure MMO, I think they're not like they're making a couple Fallouts in a row because they want. It's like why there's no other like standalone Warcraft games because World of Warcraft has that lore. It has that.
Yeah.
So if you want more regular Fallout games, you don't want a Fallout MMO.
I don't.
That would take it from it.
I'm hoping that it would just have like you could play up to 4 players with you and your friends going through.
That would be cool. Then it becomes.
Could you imagine
Borderlands?
like a Mirelurk Queen, everybody fighting together, like a really high level one, would be kind of cool.
So that'd be cool. I think it just depends how it gets worked. But then you got to have loot drops. It would make the game a little different because,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
the best model to follow is probably Borderlands did that shit perfect.
What you doing, Katrina?
I just read a headline that Nerd HQ is not going to be at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And they may not ever come back.
Yeah. No Nerd HQ, no Funko pop-up shop, and no Marvel in Hall H this year.
Well, they got to go silent.
I think it's just
I
because
just
of
think
D23.
they're going to do everything at D23. They're not going to do anything at Comic-Con anymore.
No, they will. They did 2 years ago. They didn't have anything in Marvel either, but they still have a huge presence on the floor. They just don't have.
Why spend the money? I say.
What do you mean?
Well, they have their own convention.
Yeah, but I mean,
spend money anywhere else.
If you don't have a presence on the floor, you might get some fans that are like, "Well, fuck you. You're not gonna cater to the fans that have been with you since the beginning."
That's true.
I mean, they always have a cool set piece, like they had. What was it?
The
chair.
Yeah, the Asgard throne.
Yeah, the Throne of Asgard. They had one year, and that's really is only like a month and a half away. It's crazy.
It's coming.
Yeah.
I see it on my calendar every day when I start scheduling things.
We got Funko Fun Days tickets this year. Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. What is? The Fun Days? Oh, yeah, I know. It's just, I think this week the trolleys start getting wrapped.
Yep.
For all of you that don't live in San Diego, don't go to Comic-Con, the trolley system runs through all of San Diego. And what they do is they wrap it with, I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had it wrapped last year with the Ghost Rider stuff. Conan's.
I'll say mostly Conan lately.
Conan's Pop has it all wrapped. It's really cool, and it drives through all San Diego. We live.
It gets you stoked, because then you start seeing
Yeah.
downtown get dressed up a little bit.
Yeah, they put all the banners up in the gas lamp and stuff.
Yeah.
But we live basically 20 to 25 minutes from downtown San Diego.
It'd be faster if there's no traffic.
Yeah, so
15 minutes.
the trolley comes out here, so even driving around in east of San Diego, you'll see the trolleys going through town, and I cross the trolley tracks 4 times a day on my route, so I'm waiting to see the first one drive by.
I cross it 3 times to get to work.
Do you? I guess, yeah.
Because if I take a back, it's like cross,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, it's coming. It's coming too fast. You hear that a lot, don't you?
No. No.
You get it.
No, he doesn't get it.
Oh, I thought you got it.
I'm having an allergic reaction.
Are you? You can tell. You look like shit.
Thanks.
No problem. It's not any different than any other day. I forgot what I was going to say.
I got a fun little thing.
Okay, go for it.
I haven't watched baseball at all.
Mm-hmm.
But Scherzer?
What, the Immaculate Innings?
They tell me he's a pitcher.
Yeah, Max Scherzer.
Does he pitch?
He pitches for the Nationals.
Does he pitch well?
Yeah. How many Immaculate Innings did he have?
He's had 2 in his career now because he's just done it.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody ran the numbers. And it's just funny. I didn't know that was that rare of a thing. So you want to describe it? What's the Immaculate Inning?
It's 3 strikeouts with 9 pitches in 1 inning.
On paper,
Yes, I'm a sports fan.
To me, that doesn't sound like that rare.
How often do people foul off a ball or hit a ball? Or
It's like when you think about it, but like
he doesn't throw a ball.
compared to like a perfect game, if you would guess which one's more rare,
An
That's
Immaculate
more
Inning.
narrow.
yeah, because you could have a lot of. I just seem like, considering how many innings have been pitched.
20 years ago, I might have said that a perfect game was more rare, but over the last 10 years, the perfect
It's
game's
more
kind
and
of
more.
gotten more. But
So somebody did the math. There's somebody, I don't know. That's on Twitter. So that there have been 216,000 games and 23 perfect games.
okay.
That seems very low to me too.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a
It
lot
should
more
be.
no hitters.
I guess that's true.
I mean,
There's different categories.
well, a perfect game is they 27 up, 27 down, where no no hitter is that guy walked somebody.
Yep. So it's 0.0106%.
Do you know the only team to not have a no hitter or perfect game?
The Padres.
Did we break one of those?
No.
Or was it just a cycle?
The cycle.
The cycle.
We have 2 cycles now.
Yeah. They come off
Matt Kemp.
same dude?
Matt Kemp and Will Myers both have
Okay.
a cycle. And
I feel like I was watching one of those games where he got
a couple weeks ago, Jordan Lyles went 7 1/3 innings for the Padres of a perfect game.
And then he fucked up?
Yeah.
Or did somebody fuck him up?
They ended up losing the game, too.
It sucks when somebody
Crash
else
and
blows
burn.
it. If the pitcher blows it, it's one thing, but if somebody else blows
Yeah.
it, like,
I know it was a bad defensive play, too.
was it?
Yeah.
Then that's horrible. I hate that.
You know, that person feels like shit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody wants it just as bad.
Yeah.
That guy's not a good pitcher either. It's probably his only opportunity.
There have been roughly 2 million innings in baseball history and 91 immaculate innings. So 0.0045%.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It is a little less than half as rare. So,
That's crazy.
yeah. So, and
Max
Scherzer's got
Scherzer.
2.
Max Scherzer, 2 different colored eyes.
Oh, one for each immaculate inning.
And
So 2 out of 91 were him.
he's a good pitcher, man. I mean, he's something else.
So I'd never heard of immaculate inning, that term. So on the title, I didn't know what the hell.
Have
that
you heard of
was.
a 4 strikeout inning?
How's that work?
They strike out the side, but the ball gets away from the catcher on the last strikeout, and the guy gets the third, and then he strikes out the next guy that comes up. So it happens because it's considered a strikeout, but the catcher loses the ball. Like if the guy swings and the pitch gets away from the catcher.
Really?
Yeah. So it's still considered
That's
a
an
strikeout.
odd rule. Sometimes there's.
Look
weird
at that.
things.
Look up how many 4 strikeout innings there have been.
Hmm.
I wonder. You're not talking, Katrina. You're not interested in this?
I'm having a hard time breathing.
I have to do one little thing too while Corey's looking up that stat since we're talking about sports. Ian from Earth 919 podcast was rooting for the Cavaliers tonight, which was I don't know when this will go up on
Sucks to be
Friday.
that guy.
Yeah, so this was game 3, so it's a 3-0 deficit in favor of the Warriors. So
Not that I'm a basketball fan.
I'm not a huge basketball fan
It's
either,
just fun.
but I've been rooting for the Warriors because we're from California, and I do like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. But yeah, so Ian, suck it. Can't find it, Corey?
No, quick little stat. It's 82 different pitchers have struck out 4 batters in a half inning in the MLB.
Okay.
So I don't know if they've done it multiple times. It's more than 82, but at least 82 different times. But
So that makes it even more rare
it
than
would have to be because
I want to say.
How
I
many
saw
times
Jake
that's-
Peavy do
that's
it.
2 million innings if that's what they're counting. So
I want to say I saw Jake Peavy do it for the Padres.
That's such a weird
Things have to just line
thing,
up.
Yeah.
Now I wonder if there's ever been an immaculate inning that's been 4 strikeouts.
Well, that's like
A rare of a rare of a rare.
yeah, 1 in 100,000
That has
times.
never happened.
1 in a million. Oh, just random bit. The actress who played Rose in Star Wars.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
she's
Yeah,
gone
Although
social
she
media
hasn't-
silent.
She hasn't said anything, so it's based on what people have said about her that she got bullied off the internet. Is what all the titles are, which sucks because as bad as a movie can be, or as shitty as an actor, nobody deserves to be harassed.
No.
And anyway, I don't care. Hayden Christensen could suck balls on the screen, but I wouldn't go fucking tweet him and say, "Die, bitch."
No, and I mean you feel bad for like Jake Lloyd, whose life has basically been
Yeah.
ruined for being Anakin Skywalker.
And it's funny. It's like a thing you don't think about. Imagine taking a role in a Star Wars movie is like, oh my god, my dreams come true.
Yeah.
But then fucking 2 years later, you fucking
Everybody
deal with
hates
shit
you?
every day. That would be annoying. And
That's a lot of people.
And it's not like she was a horrible character. It's just that some of the situations she was put into were not the best of a Star Wars
I would
movie.
say
That's
I come
wram's
out-
problem.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
kind of like her character, but it's just like the lady who always goes back. Who's Dolores Umbridge? Whatever.
Yeah.
Like
In real life,
I-
Betsy DeVos.
Yeah, I despise
Yeah.
that character so much. Like, as one, like I can think of there's like a couple people you just fucking hate. So much. But you can't.
The Emperor in Gladiator,
What's his name?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
He's spot
Oh
on.
God, yeah, that's just a sign of a good actor, though. I mean, if you could make somebody
But
hate you that much in that
It's
role,
funny that he probably gets shit in real life for being so unlikable on screen.
He's a weirdo. He doesn't care.
yeah, I don't think he cares what people think of him.
Probably not. But obviously, Rose, I have a real name here somewhere, did. And I have no love for the guy who directed The Last Jedi, that he took the criticism, he didn't take it to heart. He's like, whatever, I'm going to do it the way I want. If Disney lets him make the next, he's going to have his own trilogy or something. I don't know. Not this next one, but after that, if Solo didn't ruin everything. But he got on the internet and defended the lady, and I guess people couldn't differentiate between harassment and critique. And it was an epic couple tweets he made, and I was like, okay, I don't know anything about that guy except for his movie and his tweet now. I'm like, okay, that guy's cool.
I got a slight rumor for you to close out the show. Apparently, Marvel has contacted Jay Shandrak about interest in directing a Marvel movie.
That'd be cool.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, if they got the guy who did a New Zealand vampire movie to come on to do
Or
Thor,
the guy that did Slither.
yeah, those are directors who they're known, but they're not.
The Russo brothers weren't known either.
Yeah,
I mean,
directing Arrested Development.
yeah. So I mean,
at least writing for it.
I read a little quip from him, and he said he said Marvel gave him a book of characters, and he gave it to his 13-year-old son, and said, "What do you think sounds interesting?"
That's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you could pick an obscure character and do a lower budget Marvel movie,
Like hole in the wall style.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's been tons of rumors of Moon Knight being on either Netflix or something like that, but I mean, they've really turned in a lot of characters who haven't been well known into big deals. So
You can make a Hercules movie.
yes, I read Hercules for a long time, but he's got to be drunk half the time.
Ares and all
I mean,
that.
all the time.
Yeah, he would drink a lot, but that might be too close to Thor.
You could make it vastly. I mean, if you get different directing team, it could be way different.
Why not relaunch Blade?
I know if you want to introduce vampires to the MCU, then it opens up the whole can of worms.
Have you heard the rumor about Jake Gyllenhaal being Mysterio in the next Spider-Man movie?
I have.
That's a rumor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big one.
I thought that was announced.
No, they didn't announce it. They said he was in talks to star as Mysterio.
Okay, I thought it said announced and then begin filming in a month,
No.
No.
I know that Michael Keaton's coming back, though.
Yay.
which would be cool. Hopefully, it's more than just a cameo because
What?
I would like him to be
Now, if you already have Scorpion and you have
Taco.
Gargan.
and you have
Too busy making
Vulture and you have Mysterio, how far is that from getting Rhino, Chameleon, and what was it? Was Venom the other? Who was in all the Sinister Six? Was there a Goblin? I can't remember. It's been a while.
one of the goblins.
Hobgoblin.
How would you like
I
to
don't
see Mysterio on screen?
They got to lose the fishbowl.
Yeah, you legit. If there's some play on it, like how Dr. Zola in Captain America 1, they show his head on a screen, or I guess in the sequel he was in a computer. But they do some little nod to that character having bowl on his head. Cool. But you can't make the character anything close to what he was in the comic book and not have it be just
And no cape.
laughable.
What's wrong with capes?
I
No
mean, even if
capes.
he's just he's an illusionist.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a weird unless they play it well.
Did you ever see Burt Wonderstone?
No,
It's a
mean,
really,
probably-
really bad movie,
but you like it.
but there
anyway.
was some funny parts in the movie. No?
Yeah.
It was
I would watch. I like everybody.
as much as I'm not a huge Jim Carrey guy, he played the Chris Angel type in that, and that was pretty funny.
It was funny to us because we actually waited outside for Chris Angel.
We saw Chris Angel stunt in person. It was awful.
It was so bad.
It was awful. I could tell you they do a lot of camera tricks for that shit.
no doubt.
Amazing Jonathan was amazing.
Oh yeah, Amazing Jonathan was great. You've seen him before, right?
Maybe if you showed me, I don't.
He's got red hair. He's older. He always looks Wired. He'll do pretend to do cocaine in the middle of his sets and stuff.
I know this guy.
He was on
Oh,
Comedy
so much
Central.
fun.
He was on Comedy Central
Do
quite a
coke?
bit. He's really, really good.
That's funny.
He's
Look
been
at the
around for a
Sahara.
long time.
That's not there anymore.
No, we saw him at the Sahara. That was a good time. That was a long time ago. But
Solo
anything else?
sucked.
I
What?
like Solo.
Solo.
What
box
about it?
office.
Yeah, they said they're gonna end up losing $50 million.
It's doing
Oh, I'm
worse
sure
than
Disney's
Justice
crying.
League. And I will say that it was not as bad as Justice League.
No, it wasn't as bad as Justice League.
It's all the preconceived notion that it was going to be a terrible movie. And
It's not
people-
only that. There's a pretty significant group of asshole Star Wars fans, and yes, I'll call them assholes, that are like, they were boycotting this movie because of The Last Jedi. Look it up online, man. There's a bunch of fucking pricks that are just like,
Are those the people where there's such a small base that's just so vocal?
No, it's not. And that's kind of going
if
back
it's
to
2%, that's a lot of ticket sales.
your
That's-
bullying thing.
Those are the same people who didn't want the first one, episode 7? Yeah.
Force
And
Awakens.
because Finn was a stormtrooper and he's black.
Yeah,
That was
Right.
a vocal thing. But it was I see an article, it was legitimately, it was a handful of people. It was like 5 guys on multiple accounts who made all the ruckus about that.
You're talking about a cesspool that is the internet that just destroys things.
I seen for the actress who just got bullied, a lot of websites are covering it as the toxic Star Wars fan base strikes again. You know, I'm like, that's lumping everybody in. They're considering
it's the
almost everybody
10%
on
that are the
planet.
highest vocal.
Right.
If everybody, like not everybody on the planet, but everybody in our age bracket, fucking older, is a Star Wars fan, you can't even lump 1% as those vocal assholes.
I don't know. I'd probably say that 10% of any fandom or anything, 10% are just kind of,
Vocal assholes?
yeah,
I can't.
that probably still go see the movie.
So they can
Obviously not
complain
Solo
about it.
though.
Have you ever tweeted anybody anything negative about?
You know what? I will say. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
There's being negative and there's being hateful.
Yeah.
They're two different
That's true.
things. So you can give somebody constructive criticism. You don't have to be an asshole or a complete dick.
But if there's like 100 people who constantly are freaking hateful on the internet, it makes it seem like the whole fan base is against you. But
Yeah, I mean that's just the
so I don't know how
the 10%
successful that boycott was.
the 10% makes 90% of the noise.
I mean, unless there's 100,000 people signing a boycott saying I will not see Solo, seems stupid.
No, but for being as anxiety ridden and as a piece of shit to myself as I am, I think that I'm a fairly positive person. And I was told by Cena Grace, I was talking to him at some small comic book convention. He's a comic artist, and he said just be nice to everybody all the time. And I, especially with social media in these last couple of years, since I've not been as much of a rage monster, I'm just nice to everybody about everything. And we don't get a lot of criticism on our podcast or anything, but if somebody wanted to talk shit about our podcast, I'd say, okay,
Have fun.
have fun. Thanks for the feedback. And just move on to the next person that actually wants to listen and wants to be positive and stuff. And like, I don't go on and post things on Twitter and tag people that I don't like. I'll tag actors and actresses occasionally and being like just today I was listening to Joe Rogan talk to Kevin Smith on the Rogan Experience, and you watched some of it?
Yeah.
And
talk about Roseanne.
well, it was a 3-hour podcast.
I watched 20 minutes of it.
Well, they were talking about having to put dogs down, and I was thinking about when Bryn our 14-year-old dog just got really sick a couple months ago, and I started tearing up in the car listening to the podcast, and I tagged them on Facebook. I said it was a really good episode. I got pretty emotional a couple times in the episode. So, I do stuff like that. I never do anything negative. I'll thank people for good episodes. I'll thank people for good content, whether that's a comic book artist, a writer, or anything. So just fucking put a positive spin on things. You don't have to be an asshole.
And all the people you know collectively like Star Wars, do you know of anybody who is foul enough to go on and go to social media and tweet at anybody?
I don't know if he does it, but Kendall from Four Guys at a Table is pretty hate-filled.
See, so is he the 10% for you?
I don't think he would tag anybody. Because I don't think he uses social media. But I do think he'd be one of those ones that complain like that.
Yeah, nitpicking between us is like it's fine, but see, I don't think the fan base of anything is that toxic.
Hey,
Unless you're
So, like, what
KKK.
about Eric? He likes to tag people when he has complaints about shit.
yes, he does. Yeah, he does.
He just did the other day. I forget what it was about.
I can't remember what it was either, but he was bitching about something.
Is it whining?
But this is the
compared
guy. This is the guy that cried a river about not getting the Comic-Con pass on YouTube.
I'm gonna look it up.
No, but once you hear this, Alan and Matt from Four Guys at a Table tweet me and tell me you can tag me and tell me if Ken will be the kind of guy that to tag somebody and tweet hate shit at him. You find it, Katrina? We're gonna wrap up shop. I'm about to do our
Your sign off.
sign-offs.
I can't find it, but it was. That's not the right person.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to the episode, guys. I'm just going to run through our stuff real quick. We do have a Patreon. If you go over there and you sign up to be a patron, we do have bonus episodes for our patrons. You can follow me at Robert at 9to5nerds on Twitter. Corey is Corey at 9to5nerds co-host, and Katrina is Katrina at 9to5nerds producer, but I think it's PRODCR.
Correct.
Yeah, correct. See, haha.
Good
And we are on iTunes, and if you could leave us a review, that would be awesome. We are also on Stitcher, Podknife, and
Poop knife?
Google Play. Not Poop Knife, Podknife. Google Play,
Close.
and what else are we on, Katrina? We're on a lot of stuff.
I don't know.
Are you looking it up, or can I end this thing?
You can edit.
And we'll try to get my cousin back on here. I know some of you were looking forward to me asking him some questions about Reavers and
Who shot first?
and oh, that's a good question. Was that one of your questions?
Could have been.
Could we just ask him who
Like,
shot
shoot
first?
from the hip. Yeah, we weren't contexted. So
It
just,
was Pokemon related.
Yeah, we could do.
Why is he good at Pokemon?
What kind of animal is a Gygar or a Gilgar? Was that it? Is it?
What?
What kind of animal is a Pidgey?
Now you gotta say like what does Pikachu evolve into?
I thought that was a cat for a second.
No.
But that'll be this week's episode. Thank you, Nerdites, for listening, and we are out.